In this lesson we're going to take a look at evaluating algebraic expressions. So let's take a look at a couple. So they're going to give us some information off to the right here. They tell us what to plug in for m, n, p, and q. Well, we only have m and n in this particular problem, but what you're supposed to do each time is just replace the problem, or the variables, with whichever value they put over here on the right. So the m needs to be replaced with a -4. And what I do is I put parentheses around it, because the m is really just a placeholder. And then the n is just a placeholder for the value they tell over here on the right, which is 5. So I replace those values and bring down the numbers that were in front, the 5 that was in front of the m, and the -9 that was in front of the n. And then after you substitute, you just follow the order of operations we did in the last lesson and simplify. So I have 5 times -4, which should give me -20. And then I have -9 times 5, which should give me -45. And then I just combine, and that should give me -65. Because they're both negative, I combine them. So now we're given one that's a little bit more complicated here. They have m over here, which I'm going to replace with -4. They have n right here, that's going to get replaced with 5. And they have p down here, which gets replaced with -6. Okay, so I rewrite it with the numbers instead of the variables, and so I have -4, and then I have plus 2 times 5 over 4 times -6. Now again, the reason why I put parentheses is because they've got the variables stuck next to a number, which means when they're next to each other, you're going to multiply. So there's multiplication happening at two places. The -4 actually did not need to be in parentheses, but I'm just wanting you to show you that that's where my m used to be. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and simplify. The 2 times the 5 should turn into 10. The 4 times the -6 should turn into -24. And then I'm going to rewrite this to be -4 plus 10 over -24. And then you further simplify, and you do your top, which is -4 plus 10, which should give you +6. And that is over my -24. And then I need to divide the top and bottom by 6, and that should give me 1 over -4. So the answer is -1/4. Alright, in this next problem we've got some exponents to deal with and a square root symbol. So you can see I need to replace my m with -4, and I put parentheses again because it's going to be raised to the third power. I want the negative to get raised to the third also. So I'll bring down my -3, minus, I need to replace my n squared in parentheses. N is going to be 5, and it's raised to the second power, times the square root of my q, which is 25. So I replaced each number with its corresponding variable. So you can see how I substituted. And then I just work it out. So I need to think about what's -4 to the third power. Well, I know the answer is going to be negative because it's an odd exponent. And then just 4 to the third, which should give me 64. And then I times that by my -3. And then I continue working with my 5 squared, which should give me 25. And now I want to bring down my minus sign. And then I'm timesing that by the square root of 25, which is 5. Okay. Now I further simplify the first multiplication and then the second multiplication. The first multiplication is multiplying -3 times -64, and that's going to give me positive 192. So sorry, I ran out of room and I wrote that over here. And then we have -25 times 5, which should give me -125. So again, that came right over here. And so I finish by just combining my 192 and subtracting 125. And that should result in 67. So you can see these problems are just, they want you to do one step of substituting, and then just work through PEMDAS and your order of operations, and you should arrive at the right conclusion.